Hi, we're the huge movie fanatics here to review Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
It's kind of relevant now.
Yeah, I just saw its re-release this past Friday or Thursday at midnight, and it actually did fairly well in the box office. I was happy with that. But
do you know what it did?
Did 23.
What, midnight?
No,
just over the weekend.
Over the weekend, it did 23 million. They were predicting it around, I think, 15 or 18, so it did better than they expected. It's still only opened in 4th. It's because it was Valentine's Day weekend. The girly movies opened up there. But anyway, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. You know, I'm not one of those people. This movie gets a lot of hate. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit around and hate on this movie, though.
I'll do that.
There's definitely things to hate about this movie. I will fully admit that. But I think on the whole, this is a good movie. I was talking with somebody about this movie yesterday, the brother of my best friend, and he was saying that if you ignore the problems with these movies, the prequels, they're actually better made movies, like story-wise, better way of telling a story and utilizing a story than the originals, the 4, 5, and 6. And I kind of agree with it. The stories in the prequels are really complicated, almost too complicated at times, but they tell the story really well. They're not as straightforward as 4, 5, and 6 were, and I think that's what the appeal to those movies are. But Episode 1, let's focus on that one first. I saw it in 3D, it just got a 3D re-release, and you know what? 3D in this movie looks astounding. I was kind of blown away. For a conversion, I generally will not see conversion movies just because I saw the Harry Potter and it looked terrible, Clash of the Titans is my go-to for every bad conversion. But I just really haven't seen too many impressive movies. But this one looks so good. It looks like it was filmed in 3D. It looked like, I thought it was better looking even than Avatar or what's that other? Anyway, it was a good looking movie. I was blown away. It has such depth. Things sort of pop out when they need to, when they're flying at you. The pod race scene in this movie is just glorious.
Would you say that's like the best? 3D?
It's not the very best.
What's the very best 3D?
If the trailer's any indication, the Amazing Spider-Man and the Hobbit that's coming out this year, those were filmed in 3D. They had the trailer right before this movie, and those movies, I thought I was there. That 3D is astounding.
I was speaking about the best 3D in Star Wars.
Oh, in Star Wars. I thought you meant in
no.
I've ever seen. Best 3D in Star Wars. Yeah, the best use of the 3D is during the pod race. The pod race is glorious. My God, that scene is brilliant. Also, the lightsaber fight. You get a lot of the nice close-ups, and you get there's the saber, there's Obi-Wan, there's the distance behind him, when they're doing the quick shots between the three. That scene is awesome. Any form of depth there is great. I mean, you use 3D to see depth, basically, and distance and variations of it. And with other fantasy movies or action movies like Transformers or Harry Potter, I mean, that kind of works. You're always going to get that. But with Star Wars, he filmed that with such an imagination and to show you a real world that all 6 of those movies are perfect movies for 3D. This movie totally did it well. I was very impressed. So I'm going to give... Okay.
Talk about the movie, though.
The movie itself. Okay. So here's the thing. I actually kind of like the story, the trade disputes, and all this kind of stuff. I like the introduction of the Jedis. You're supposed to watch it with fresh eyes, because to you, nothing's happened yet. That's the way he's sort of intending it to be. I've seen 4, 5, and 6. I know what happened. But to the audience member, he's designing it so that you don't know what a Jedi is. So he's giving you basic information and all this stuff. And I think it kind of plays out. Works rather well. I like all the stuff with the Jedis, especially Qui-Gon. What an awesome character. I like the villains, especially Darth Maul. I mean, he's the go-to badass. I think he might be the most badass of all of the Sith. He's not the coolest one in the sense that Darth Vader is, but design-wise, he's awesome. The worlds are great and unique. The just imagination in this movie is great. The only two really just awful things about this movie are so awful. They bring this movie down in ways that, like, I can't explain. And that's Anakin. Like, I think Anakin's dialogue is all good. I actually like the dialogue. You just sit and listen to what that little boy is saying. It's great. Like, he's just casually sitting there when he's first introduced to Padme, and he's like, you know, I wouldn't have even made it this far if I wasn't so good at building things. Like just a little pimp. He's saying all these really cool lines. But the delivery is so unfortunately not good. He's really flat. Like, I don't think the kid's a bad actor. I think he wasn't right for the role. I think that's what it comes down to.
I think Lucas was more concerned about getting someone who looked like him or something, or who could grow up into be not Mark Hamill. Oh well, he wanted to see to see Mark Hamill in his face too. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why he picked Jake. I'm sure of it. But then there's Jar Jar, the elephant in the room. He is a good character and an important character that's so poorly freaking executed and so irritating you want to drive a fork through your face. Like, he's so indescribably bad. Anybody who's seen this movie knows how bad and irritating Jar Jar is. And normally I can forgive the Jar Jar factor in episode 1, but when I watched it in the theater, I just couldn't.
It amplified.
It's so amplified in ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do that again.
Yeah. I think the movie could have been made a lot better if they trimmed some of those irritating lines. Like, you could save that movie with editing, where you sort of trim back Jar Jar. Less of Jar Jar is better.
Or just put Pamela Anderson over the Jar Jar character, or in the place of, in the Baywatch outfit.
Oh God, yeah. I'm going to give the movie 3 stars. I stand by that it's a good movie. It's definitely worthy of 3 stars, but the problems in the movie are really bad.
What are the problems?
Jar Jar and Anakin. Anakin isn't even like that bad. It's just the delivery is bad.
You should mention your little. If it's true, is it true? You've told me about your little.
Yeah,
make people jealous. Jingle All the Way.
I was Jake Lloyd's photo double in Jingle All the Way, and I met the gentleman as he is now, and we hung out several times. I got pictures.
Wait, you got pictures?
Yeah, I have pictures.
Do you have pictures you can get to me?
Yes, I probably
Are they in the storage?
I don't believe they are. I will.
This is cool. You have to get these pictures. You and Jake Lloyd continue.
Like he and I were kind of buddies, like for a little bit during the filming of Jingle All the Way.
Is that?
And here's the cool part: we were once playing Star Wars in his hotel room with little action figures. He loved Darth Vader. Awesome. And I was so happy for him once he got to be Anakin Skywalker. The only thing that's unfortunate about it, because I truly don't think he's a bad actor. I've seen him in other movies.
Wrong.
He was just wrong for the role, and he could have been right for the role. Because there are times. No. He could have been right for the role, absolutely, if Lucas had sort of. I think this comes more of a Lucas problem than the kid's problem. The kid was 9.
Well, the kid has no.
It's not, and a lot of people blame him, and it's like, you can't, you gonna blame a 9-year-old?
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones that, like, the parents that probably blame their children for things. But,
not getting a field goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your ball in the basket, you fucker!
Yeah, so, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with him. He could have, like, it's the director's job to pull performance out, and Lucas just didn't. And he's not an actor's director. And so that's the problem. I really like George Lucas, don't get me wrong, but this is probably his worst showcase of his abilities of pulling performance out. You'll see that continued in episode 2.
All right, well, you got to do your darndest to, oh shit. Well, this review goes up tomorrow.
Yeah, I will see
what
I can do.
It doesn't have to.
Yeah. But, anyway.
Anyway, I didn't know there were pictures. That's kind of cool. I thought he was full of shit.
No,
but the
pictures.
Wow. Oh gosh, I gotta review it.
Yes.
For me, Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace, is the worst of the series. I'm gonna go 2 stars. I think that, and I try to, it's like Return to Sleepaway Camp. I watch it and I watch it over and I watch it over and I go, okay, I'm just gonna give in. I'm gonna like this, and then I turn it on and it's like. It's me, you know, it's all this stuff, you know, and there's more to it than that, but I'm kind of doing the highlights of the pathetic ridiculousness.
You hit all the moments that I didn't like. Because I know exactly what you're doing there.
Oh, Pusa. And so, yeah, I think that when you as an adult with an IQ over 50, when I watch it, I just go, okay. And I think clearly what was the case, which a lot of people allude to online and stuff, is that, you know, by this time Lucas was just like so huge that there is not going to be one soul, you know, in heaven or on earth who are going to cross him and go, you know, at his company or whatever, it's at the old ranch or anything, and they're going to, you know, Jar Jar is kind of fucking stupid, George. Maybe if you know, so it's like no one's gonna, you know, I don't know, you know.
You know what I think the problem was?
What's the problem?
It's the Robert Rodriguez factor. Robert Rodriguez is an awesome filmmaker, and then he had children, and he wanted to make a movie for his children.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's...
George Lucas's kids were about 9 at the time.
Okay.
So I think that he was like, you know, I'm going to make kids love Star Wars. I'm going to make this one for my kid.
You know, I have something there. Combined with my theory of no one wants to cross George.
Yeah, and then there's the column is like, sure, you sure, George? You really? Okay. Well, here's the money.
Well, if you see him and Ben or Bert, I think looking, it's like Ben's like. George is like, God, I may have overdone it right here. Ben's like, Ben's like, naming off all the problems. Yeah, you have a death here, you got a comedy character within 15 seconds, and the death of a hero, and it's just like, gosh, maybe So I think it is cool to see, you know, God Lucas actually acknowledging that there might be a problem. And then I'm assuming did he fix those problems, or are they still in the movie? I don't know. When I watched that, I assumed that those problems have been fixed. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, I don't have a whole lot to say. I think that if you look at it in a weird way, what's R2-D2 actually saved the entire galaxy, because he got them through the stockade, right?
Yeah.
So if basically R2, what it boils down to is R2-D2 saved the galaxy. Mm-hmm. He balanced. Because if R2-D2 hadn't have got him through the stockade, they wouldn't have done this, they wouldn't have found Anakin, they wouldn't have brought, you know, whatever. Of course, if the Emperor hadn't got Anakin, maybe that whole thing wouldn't have happened. So whatever. Yeah. That's arguable. But I thought it was cool how they introduced R2.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird how he like, looked at the camera, like, winked at the camera as he's like, there's me!
Apparently R2 is Lucas's favorite character, and he always gives him the best moments in all 6 movies. You totally can see that. So like that.
But I did think it was cool how when he's, you know, doing this and that, it's like 3 other droids are like.
Yeah, that part made me laugh out loud in the theater, because I don't know if he added in a scream, but the second to last one that's up there with there's R2, there's one here, and there's one here, and when it got shot, you could just hear that scream ring out in the theater. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. I mean, I hate to laugh at the death of a character.
Death of a robot.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's pretty heartless.
It made me laugh.
But there had always been a scream there. I don't know if he changed it or put it.
I don't know. No! It just seemed more accented in the.
Oh yeah, in the theater sound.
With the surround.
So, gosh, I'm trying to review it and I keep getting off track. But I think at the end of the day, it is very much just a special effects thing. I'm not so keen on the medical or scientific or whatever you call it explanation of the Force and the midichlorians. Yeah.
I think it was important to show how somebody could be created from a midichlorian.
And the Jesus, you know, thing of Anakin being.
Well,
I carried him. You know, I was down in Mos Eisley. I was drunk. She didn't mention that.
Spoiler alert, I guess. Like the Emperor created Anakin. Like,
oh, really? When did they say that?
Episode 3, when Anakin and Palpatine are sitting next to each other.
Oh, I guess I must have not.
And he's like, Darth Plagueis was so powerful he could influence the midichlorians to create life. And then he looks at Anakin, and Anakin sort of looks back at him, and then
I thought he meant like I can save Padme. I thought that's what he meant with that.
No,
but he said create
life.
Right.
So So you get the sense that
Oh,
like
that was lost on me though.
The whole theme of the movies is fathers and sons, and the Emperor is essentially the father figure. Not only the father figure, but then ultimately the father of Anakin, who's the father of Luke, and then Anakin's also the father of C-3PO for whatever reason. So like that theme, I kind of like that. When I first saw episode 1, I was like, really, he's Jesus? Come on, seriously? And then when you find out that like the theme of fathers and sons is carried through, that like ultimately like it comes down to a showdown between Luke and his grandfather, who's an evil bastard. And then it's like, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with Anakin being the Jesus figure or whatever. I was fine with it, seeing the thing as a whole.
I thought, I thought that it was just like you said about being overly complex or very complex or whatever you said. I have to agree. I thought it was just, coming from the 3 original movies, I just thought, oh my God, it's political wars, taxation. And I don't know. I guess we don't have enough time to really, there's no point in me just sitting here, I don't know, what's the point of me saying all ripping all. I just thought it was a lot of, what was ironic about the movie is that he had, here he thought he was, Lucas felt he was so, in the original trilogy, he thought he was so limited, and I couldn't do what I wanted, I couldn't do this. And if you look at, all of them, but especially Empire and Jedi, the things that they pull off are just amazing, especially with the space battles, the space battle in Jedi. It's just like, I think the space stuff in Jedi looks a hell of a lot better than it looks in Episode 1, which is ironic, because with Episode 1, he had free power to do completely anything he wanted. And what do? He make all these stupid, he made this huge grass flat field where all these stupid long-eared people and these robots fought, and it's like, it's like he could do anything he wanted. And so why is the space battles less interesting than what he did in the previous movies? It's just ironic.
I will say that the Return of the Jedi space battle is the best of the series.
Holy mother! By today's standards, how did they do that back then? It looks so incredible. Great. And it looks better than...
And the one in this one had, like, no tension at all. Which is so weird, because you watch, 4 and 6 especially, there's so much tension in those scenes where they're battling.
Especially 4.
This one wasn't...
Back in the 70s, the cutting, the way that first one, the way that one was cut.
Yeah.
In this, you're right. It's like...
it's a cool scene, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is enjoyable. But, it doesn't have any tension or anything. It's just you're watching stuff happen in front of the screen.
Yeah, that's very much how it was for me. I think that, to me, when I walked out of the theater, the thing that I was like, whoa, and completely blown away by at the time, and I still think is the strength of Phantom Menace, is the end battle, which I thought that, if the movie's got to exist, okay, it can exist. If nothing else, for that battle, I thought it was like...
It's a really good battle.
Cool. And
that's the first really
little too short, actually, in retrospect now.
I know, you watch it now, especially after Sith, and you're like, this goes on for 14 minutes? That's it? Like, where's the... But at that point, it was the best lightsaber fight that had ever been filmed, and it's such a badass scene between the 3 warriors.
Yeah. And one thing I just remembered right there when you were talking is that it's almost like they didn't know, the first time the lightsabers at the very beginning come on, they look so stupid. The energy band, it looks so stupid. I love, they got it right later on in episode 2 and 3 where basically the energy band is a little bit bigger than the opening of the damn top of the thing, so it's like, and when they first open them and they're sitting there in the smoke-filled room, it's like you can see the opening top of the thing, and it's like it's skinnier than the opening top, and it's almost like, I don't know, they forgot what a lightsaber is supposed to look like, and it's just like, oh my God.
Still trying to perfect it, I guess.
Yeah. I can't remember if I think they improved upon it before the first one's over, though. I think that was the only time, maybe even that only shot, maybe, now that I think about it, that the lightsaber is completely, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that'll do it. I just think that in a lot of ways, I don't really like any of the characters. I think the characters are flat. I think Qui-Gon's he's just a big, he's just. What do you like about him?
I like Qui-Gon just because he's meant to be the introductory figure. Like if you're watching him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. he's meant to be the introductory figure. So you're listening to him. He has that voice that sort of draws you in, and so like he's sort of sitting there, sort of like a teacher, which is what a Jedi is supposed to be. And I think part of the problems with the movie is that we are seeing it from 4, 5, and 6 onwards. I've shown this to people who've never seen any of the Star Wars movies first, and they really do quite like it, and they do find the battles intense and whatnot because they've never seen.
Yeah, well, see, that's the
4,
thing
5,
is,
6.
you know, you can't. It is a weird situation to make, you know, the first trilogy after the second one existed. I mean, I admit as a viewer, I'm going to be biased going.
Yeah,
into
same.
it. It's only
right.
natural, and I can't be judged for that. It's only
Yeah,
natural.
no. Yeah.
I got my my whatever,
Mm-hmm.
my right to think that way.
Yeah, absolutely, and I totally understand it. But I think that history is going to be a little kinder to this movie in the future when more children, like parents, are going to show this to their kids, and they're going to see it in the proper order, and then people are going to like this one a little better. I mean, you're already seeing that now with the success of box office.
Yeah, they're going to come out in 40 in another 10 years.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh gosh,
So,
I don't know.
We've talked about this movie far too much.
Luckily, I got the over 15 reinstated, so it will hopefully be one part. They gave me over 15 again.
Oh, sweet
They
deal.
gave us. I shouldn't. It's not just mine.
Yeah.
It's both of ours. So hopefully it won't be one part. So that'll be
One thing that I forgot to mention, Puppet Yoda in the original cut of
yeah.
Episode 1. Oh God, he's bad looking. The digital Yoda looks so good, almost too good. He's the best special effect in the movie, and he makes like Jar Jar look even
Well,
worse.
that's because it's more recent
yeah,
than
like
anything
they
else
just
in the
did it
movie.
this year or last year. Yeah, but man, he looks so good, and like they totally pulled off those scenes insanely well with the redesign of Yoda. Just have to say, like, props to them. That's like the best looking digital Yoda in the series. Wow. So yeah. Any thoughts on the digital Yoda at all?
It's better.
It's better.
Better than the puppet.
The weird puppet that looked so fake. Yeah. How did they go from
How
the amazing
did you-
looking Yodas in
Well, that-
5 and 6
that's
to
just
that
it.
one, and it's just like, what?
That's what I don't understand.
What?
It's like they had the Charles Band effects people.
Yeah,
the guy who did the Puppet Masters.
Yeah,
You know, they did these Puppet Master movies, so we'll get him to do the puppet.
Yeah,
You know, the Yoda puppet.
It's unfortunate. But anyway, episode 1, see it at your own discretion.
Yeah, 2 stars for me. It's just
3 for
worse.
me.
It's just the special effects. That's all it is. Catch you later.